Stop begging God to increase your territory when you can't even maintain the territory you already have. Work with what you got first. Naki or Loshol. Patriotism is love of country. But you can't love your country without loving your countrymen and countrywomen. We don't always have to agree, but we must empower each other. We must find the common ground. We must build bridges across our differences to pursue the common good. Cory Booker, that's the strange thing about love. One minute you can have your tongue up someone's arse, and the next you can't even communicate. Boy George, with you, it's different. I can see the rest of my life before my eyes, and that scares me a little. Men don't tame my wild heart, but somehow I crossed your path and have never been the same since. Nikki Rowe, a dog will teach you unconditional love. If you can have that in your life, things won't be too bad. Robert Wagner, maybe. If you can't get someone out of your head, they were never meant to leave. Perhaps they were meant to help change you into the person you have been waiting to become. Shannon L. Alder, no matter what you've done for yourself or for humanity, if you can't look back on having given love and attention to your own family, what have you really accomplished? Lee Iacocca, into the wind we vary. Our hearts free of youth, mold me into envy, if I can't of your muse. Undertow, walk to the throne, after centuries of life. Adriana Stepiano, love and faith go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. And as we all know, taking the leap ain't always safe. Sometimes you judge poorly and you land right on your face. But unless you make the jump, you'll never know what's on the other side. You just gotta find the guts to do it. Kirsten Miller, I'm getting married because I'm in love with a girl and want to spend my life with her. You can't live your life doing what other people want you to, or you'll be miserable. At some point you just have to be yourself. Dan Marino, well, you can't have heartbreak without love. Dan pointed out, if your heart was really broken, then at least you know you really loved him. Layla Sales, don't be bitter and mean 'cause you don't fit in. It's a gift. Look at you, you've got your individuality. You don't have the herd instinct. You can read Nietzsche and understand it. Only dumb people are happy. Courtney Love, it's good to have things that you love. They keep you grounded, make you realize how much you've got to lose. It's good to love people, but if you don't have anyone you can truly give your heart to, then having something that means the world to you can often act as a good stand-in. Dorothy Coomson, you can't wake up miserable and expect something outside yourself to change that mood. You have to be willing to change that mood, so you expect the best from your outside world. Nikki Rowe, you have to walk carefully in the beginning of love. The running across fields into your lover's arms can only come later when you're sure they won't laugh if you trip. Jonathan Carroll, every relationship has problems, but when those problems arise you have to realize that they don't mean your relationship is broken. It's just a little bent. Bent things can be fixed, and like so your relationship can too. The first step, however, is realizing that. Johnny Depp, I have faith in us as a family and our friends. I think we will survive because we don't wish to harm anyone. If you ever need something to believe in, believe that to stand and fight for the people you love is the most honorable thing you can do with your life. Jessica Fortunato, you can spend the rest of your life fighting to be respected, accepted, and understood by the people you have created a life with, or you can start living a life where that isn't a daily goal. An ambition in your relationship. Shannon L. Alder, grasp it all. Don't be afraid. Enjoy the bits you can and tell your family you love them while you have the chance. Linda Bellingham, to be young and not to know how is bearable. To be old and not of the strength is too great a weight to carry. And what's is so painful you can't sense your powers leaving you. It's hard for an old man to endure such blows. Ivan Turgenev, you think if you don't talk about it, you can just pretend everything is all right. Everything is not all right. Not with us. Not with your parents. Not with anything today. And if you let yourself go anywhere real with it, you have to acknowledge it. Laura Dave, maybe you don't have to be led into the future. Maybe you can pick your own path. Maybe you don't fall in love. Maybe you jump. Maybe, just maybe, it's all a choice. Sarah Addison Allen, I don't believe you ever stop loving anyone you ever really loved. You have them there like money in the bank just because you loved them and held them in your arms or dreamed you did. You can forget a lot of things in life, but not that honey to end all honeys. Ellen Gilchrist, I pity the fellow who has to create a dialect or paraphrase the dictionary to get laughs. I can't spell, but I have never stooped to spell cat with a K to get at your funny bone. I love a drink, but I never encourage drunkenness by harping on its alleged funny side. Mark Twain, as many have discovered, it is entirely possible to love two people with all your heart. It is entirely possible to long for two lives, to feel that one life can't come close to containing it all. Gabrielle 7. You are loved just for being who you are, just for existing. You don't have to do anything to earn it. Your shortcomings, your lack of self-esteem, physical perfection, or social and economic success, none of that matters. No one can take this love away from you, and it will always be here. Ramdas, whatever you think your shortcomings are, you can't just lock yourself in the house so no one can notice or comment. We all have to take ourselves out into the world, flaws and all, and find a way to make the adjustment. Catherine Ryan Hyde. Children, a lot of times, can't make their parents wrong because they have to live with them, because they have to love them. And when you're young, you can't get on your big wheel and go down to the Best Western. You've got to live there and you've got to figure it out. Lana Parilla. You have to treat your car with love. And I don't mean love of an object. You see, that's just wrong. That's materialism. You have to love your car like it's sentient being, like it can love you back. Now, that's some deep down agape love. Sherman Alexie. After 40 years of marriage, isn't it amazing when you can look at your partner sound asleep next to you and still believe they have potential? Kaylin McFerrin. Merrick. In all these years, you've grown to be like a grandson to me. I believe you can do this. Have faith in your wolf, son. Where you're weak, he's strong. It's his mate, too. And I can guarantee he won't let her go without a fight. Rose Winters. I think whenever you love something or somebody, it means that you have to extend yourself. You have to grow, get a little larger. You can't stay in your little comfortable spot. Naomi Shihab. I continue pondering this great mystery called love. Who'd have thought that something you can't see, hear, or touch, much less even define, could rule your life so completely? Brenna Aubrey. You can't make someone your everything because when they are gone you have nothing left. Kate McGahan. And you can't find love because in order to find love you have to be capable of dishing it out. In order to be capable of giving love, your own life has to be in harmony with everything else. And that's not attainable. Jack Fresco. When you can completely love your ego unconditionally and accept it as part of how you express in this life, you'll no longer have a problem with it. It won't impede your growth, on the contrary. It will be an asset. Anita Murjani. Every character is a baby. You can't choose between them. If you can, you didn't do your job. You have to fall in love with every character. Jim Carrey. You can be fat and love yourself. You can be fat and have a great damn personality. You can be fat and sew your own clothes. But you can't be fat and healthy. Susan Powder. I would love for a regular student to have a student-athlete schedule during the season for just 1 quarter or 1 semester and show me how you balance that. Show me how you would schedule your classes when you can't schedule classes from 2 to 6 o'clock on any given day. Richard Sherman. I love your independence. I love that you don't swoon. I love that you'll fight me with your last breath if you think I'm wrong. And if I ever have to catch you, I swear I'll make sure you're standing on your feet as quickly as you can manage it. Diana Hardy. You don't ever expect to fall in love with words. No one can anticipate such a thing. But should it happen, God help you, because it will seem that no existent man is enough. None can equal what you have perfected in your mind. Jennifer DeLucy. There's little question that short stories, like poetry, don't get the respect they deserve in the culture. But what can you do? Like Canute, one cannot fight the sea. You have to go with your love and hope one day things change. Junot Diaz. It's important for women not to find their confidence in a man. I think you really have to know who you are before you can truly fall in love and give your all. And I don't think a man can define you. You have to own that. Jessica Simpson. I shot my undergraduate work on 35 millimeters. I love the way it looks, but I haven't shot film in a while. If you can avoid scanning, it makes your practice faster. Oh, and I shoot a lot of Polaroid, too. I have about 500 Polaroids from my film that I hope to show soon. Laurel Nakadate. Your opponents would love you to believe that it's hopeless, that you have no power, that there's no reason to act, that you can't win. Hope is a gift you don't have to surrender, a power you don't have to throw away. Rebecca Solnit. So just as you shower love and affection and attention on the husbands, wives, parents, children, and forever friends who surround you, you have to do equally with your life, because it's yours, it's you, and it's always there rooting for you, cheering you on, even when you feel like you can't do it. Cecilia Ahern. Love comes like lightning, for a man you can't have. Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni, you can't be an entrepreneur for other people. You can't start a company for other people. You have to love it more than you ever thought of loving something that wasn't a human being. The demands will kick you down and rob your life. But yet, it is so rewarding. Blake Lively, you know you have found love when you can't find your way back. Robert wrote, "It is not enough for us to say, I love God, but I also have to love my neighbor." St. John